Okay, so my laptop got stepped on and was broken, so I was not able to make this video on Sunday, but we have UFC 316 to take care of in terms of recapping because I still want to do it, even though I'm late. I still want to do it. I'm on a crappier laptop, so it might be glitchier. It might not even be any different at all, but we're going to go over the main card in this video. UFC 316 was pretty good overall. The prelims had some insane finishes, some highlights. Joshua Van is slick as fuck. I love Joshua Van. He has some news coming up that I'm going to make a video about tomorrow as well. He is really stepping up for the company. We have a bunch of finishes on the prelims that were dope. Some notable people that I'm going to keep an eye on going forward. But the focus for this video will be the main card, which I predicted in my last video, which I did okay on predictions. Not awesome at all. But we're going to start with Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. So, Kevin Holland versus Luque started off very aggressive. They both went at each other. Kevin Holland looked a lot more mean in this fight. He looked a lot more aggressive. He looked like he wanted to finish quickly. I like this motivated Holland. I like that he's actually trying to fight and actually cares about where a fight's going in his career. Because to be honest, if he loses a couple more, he could get cut. So I'm glad to see him with some motivation behind him. Vicente Luque attempted to grapple Kevin Holland on one leg, landed a bunch of significant strikes that I thought damaged Luque to a pretty significant degree, and made him quit the takedowns. And then Kevin Holland kind of pressured him the whole time, kept pressuring him, kept landing strikes. They kept kind of going back and forth on the feet. And then Kevin Holland managed to wrap up an anaconda choke and choke out Vicente Luque in the second round, which is Luque's choke. So it was very impressive to me for Holland to submit Luque with his own move. I didn't think Kevin Holland had it in him to submit Luque. I thought it was going to be a knockout or a decision. I really like this for Kevin Holland. With that being said, if the anaconda and Darce choke is Luque's move, I would say Kevin Holland, that's also his move. Kevin Holland has a bunch of Darce chokes throughout his career. It was the battle of the Darce choke technicians, and Kevin Holland had the upper hand in this one, and I got it right. Not how I thought it was going to go, but still very fun. I like Kevin Holland a lot. He called out Colby Covington in the press conference. I really like that fight for Kevin Holland. I'm going to make a matchups video later, and I think Kevin Holland should fight Colby Covington. Spoiler alert, but I think he beats Colby Covington, and then we're looking at Kevin Holland up the rankings at welterweight, which is so weird since he's been such a weird journeyman gatekeeper for so long. I want to see where this motivated Holland goes in the future. Next, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. So this is stupid as fuck. I picked Patchy Mix, but I will never, ever pick another Bellator fighter coming to the UFC that has any hype at all going into their debut ever again. Ever again. It always ends up bad. I thought Patchy Mix would be the outlier because he's younger, he was on a streak, he's actually good, he has a ton of finishes. It's Mario Batista. Everything pointed to Patchy Mix having a good debut. He was confident, he was talking shit. I loved it. Patchy Mix went into this fight with zero dynamic movement on the feet at all. He didn't move his head once. His footwork was weird and lame. He kept spamming a lead hook that barely landed with any significance. It just wasn't at all what he needed to do to beat Mario Batista in this fight. He was just like mewing the whole time and standing perfectly still while Mario Batista was lighting him up on the feet. And it was so sad to see because I thought Patchy Mix was going to come in there and obliterate Mario and become one of the mainstays at Bantamweight. But he can't even get past Mario Batista. With that being said, I don't want to take that much away from Mario Batista. He gave us a pretty entertaining fight. He went for 0 takedowns. Mario Batista, I do think that he wanted to make this entertaining so he'd get some of the backlash off of him because he's been getting a lot. He's been getting a lot of hate from the MMA community, which is warranted, but it's kind of a little bit too much for what he's doing. I mean, Merab did the same thing. Volk did the same thing. These fighters have done the same thing to Jose Aldo that everybody's mad at Mario Batista for, but it's Mario Batista, so we're all mad. We were mad at Merab at the time, but I do think Mario Batista is going to be less boring going forward. I think he needs to be, otherwise he's going to be a fucking hated fighter. It's going to be bad, but he looked really good in this fight. He outstruck Patchy Mix clearly, easily. The significant strikes and total strikes were way closer than... There was 173 to 122. I didn't see that. I saw Patchy Mix get obliterated. I think a judge gave a round to Patchy Mix, but I don't see how that's even possible. Mario Batista clearly won this fight, all 3 rounds, obliterating Patchy Mix on the feet. It wasn't anything crazy, like there wasn't any rockings or knockdowns or anything, but Mario Batista was the more efficient striker, clearly, and did way more damage. And Patchy Mix literally, he couldn't find anything. He couldn't do it. He couldn't implement anything of any of his game at all. And Mario Batista just picked him apart, and he did not look like a high-level MMA fighter. And that's so sad, because Patchy Mix is a high-level MMA fighter, at least I thought. But these Bellator guys coming to the UFC do not have the level of competition or ability to handle pressure under the lights that actual UFC fighters have. It seems, because these are the best guys Bellator has to offer, and they are getting smushed. And in this case, by kind of a no-name in Mario Batista. He's a name, but he's very far down the rankings. Patchy Mix would get melted up the rankings. So, that's stupid. Never going to pick another Bellator fighter ever again. Good for Mario Batista. I still don't like him, but he's warming up on me a bit. Next, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. So, it wasn't as dominant as I thought it was going to be. Joe Pyfer did win, but he won by decision. In the first round, I really thought I was 100% correct. Joe Pyfer's just going to dominate this fight all 3 rounds or get a finish easily. But he didn't do that. But in the first round, Joe Pyfer dropped Kelvin Gastelum fucking how many times? 2 times? I felt like way more than 2 times. He dropped Kelvin Gastelum a bunch. He had him wobbling all over. He was piecing him up on the feet and hitting him with big power punches that were dropping him and hurting him. In the first round, at least. 10-8 round, probably. Easily a 10-9. No argument about that. Arguably a 10-8. Wins the first round. The second round, Joe Pyfer still wins, outstrikes him, but it's closer. Kelvin's starting to throw more. It's not as devastating. It's closer round that Joe Pyfer still landed the more powerful shots, still did the more damage. I don't remember if he tries to grapple in the second. He went for 2 takedowns, but I think they both came in the third. Joe Pyfer didn't try to grapple very much in this fight. He succeeded at one point, but it was mainly a striking match, which Joe Pyfer was winning, clearly. He was landing the bigger shots, better shots. In the third round, though, it was competitive. I still might have given it to Joe Pyfer, but Kelvin Gastelum was winging shots, and he was now landing. And Joe Pyfer's starting to wilt a bit. He's starting to... He's definitely not invincible. We knew that from the Jack Hermanson fight, but Joe Pyfer... I don't know. If you're not dominating Kelvin Gastelum in a way, especially in the grappling department, resort to that if you're getting anywhere near competitive on the feet. Resort to the grappling. There's been so many fighters that have just obliterated Kelvin in the grappling. And on the feet. I don't know. I'm not super impressed by Joe Pyfer in this fight. I think he should have done better if he wants to be actually good at middleweight. I know he's young. He's such a salty fuck. That's what Joe Pyfer is. He's such a mad man. He's such an angry man. I don't know. I don't see him improving. I see him being too stubborn to improve, to be honest, and go forward in the middleweight division. He beat a Kelvin Gastelum. It's a win. I don't see him beating these top guys at middleweight, especially if Jack Hermanson beat your ass. I don't see Joe Pyfer going forward. He beat Kelvin Gastelum, who hasn't at this point. Kelvin Gastelum is not that good. But I don't think Joe Pyfer's that good either. And I'm interested to see what he does. He could always just knock people out. He does have that ability, but I don't trust it anymore. I don't trust in Pyfer to win fights going forward. But he won this one. But a little bit too competitive for my liking. Next, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. So, it was dominant. Kayla Harrison dominated Juliana Pena. She destroyed her. Juliana Pena does not know how to fight very well. She doesn't know how to strike. She strikes not good at all, like an old person. Kayla Harrison is the most ripped, jack, freak woman fighter I've ever seen in my entire life. She looks like an atom weight man. And yeah, pretty much dominated the fight just by grappling. She won the foot game, in my opinion, as well. Went for 3 takedowns, got 2, dominated the grappling. Juliana Pena had nothing for her. Ragdolled her a bit, got her down, went for a Kimura, got the submission in the second round. Kayla Harrison wins the fight by doing everything everybody thought she was going to do. She grapple fucked Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena didn't have anything technique-wise for her. This wasn't David versus Goliath, because at least David has like an ability at all to do anything. Juliana Pena doesn't. Kayla Harrison is way too physical for every women's fighter, except for maybe Amanda Nunes, which I guess we'll see how that goes. But there's a reason Kayla Harrison is winning fights. It's because she is jacked to the gills, and she knows how to wrestle. And she showed that in this fight and beat up Juliana Pena and submitted her in the second round. Expected, but a little bit more dominant than I thought it was going to be honest. But Juliana Pena is not that good, so it makes sense. And that's pretty much it for that fight. Cool little title fight. Amanda Nunes is next. That's actually kind of fun. I don't hate that. Besides that, women's bantamweight sucks a bunch of dick. So, after Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison super fight, that division's cooked. Especially if Amanda wins. So yeah, next. Merab versus Sean O'Malley. The main event of the evening. I don't like this very much. For me, I picked Sean O'Malley. I thought he was going to win. I thought he was going to make adjustments. I thought he was going to stuff takedowns. I thought he was going to find the shots on the feet. He almost did. He was stuffing takedowns at a certain point. I don't like the narrative very much. Call me crazy. I don't like the narrative very much of that Merab completely dominated the fight. He did win the fight. He was winning the fight before the finish. But the first round was very close on the feet. He got the takedown. He was landing shots. I don't know if that is clear cut for Merab. And I'm going to get backlash for this, I would think. This is not a great take from me. But I think Sean O'Malley did his thing on the feet for the first half of that round. He was landing better shots than Merab in the first round. Then Merab gets a takedown. Does his thing. Very close round in my opinion. Very close. I give it to Sean in my head when I was watching it, but in hindsight, I was probably being biased. But I don't know. The second round, Merab starts landing on the feet, and he starts actually looking really good on the feet. And it's kind of weird. He was putting a pressure on Sean that was kind of getting to Sean. And it definitely was getting to him in the way of his, like, what the fuck is the word? Precision. He wasn't able to find Merab with his strikes. Whether that be from Merab's pressure, the fear of the takedown, his unorthodox striking attempts, which were working very well. Sean O'Malley could not find his shots on the feet. And he was slipping, and he was like falling over at times. It was not a good look for Sean O'Malley. He looked timid. He looked anxious to get this fight over with and not get to those later rounds. He did not want a repeat of the first fight, and it became his detriment. That mindset became his detriment in this fight. He desperately wanted to stay on the feet, which made him scared of Merab's pressure, which made him miss, which made Merab gain momentum, start landing more shots, was able to find the takedowns, and in the third, to be fair, Sean O'Malley had really good takedown defense this fight. He was getting taken down, but you're going to get taken down during a Merab fight. Sean O'Malley got up from the takedowns consistently enough. He was making it competitive in the grappling. Third round, Merab does his thing. He does anything he wants with Sean O'Malley in the third round. He picked him up over his head, slammed him on the ground, started kneeing him in the thigh or hitting him barely, and then as Sean O'Malley tries to get back to his feet in whatever it's called, whatever position it is called, Merab's over the top of him and Sean's on his knees. Merab tries to go for a front choke. Sean O'Malley's neck gets cranked. He falls to his back, and then Merab sinks his chest into him and turns his neck and cranks a front choke from the back or some shit while Sean O'Malley's laying on his, flat on his back. He's still cranking the front choke. Very weird submission. I think Merab called it the machine choke in his post-fight press conference, which is now the name of it. That's probably going to stick. And Sean O'Malley taps in the third round. Very sad for me. Merab Dvalishvili is not going to be stopped ever again, I don't think. If he's fighting, I don't see a contender that can beat him. He beat Umar. That's the grappling threat. The double threat of Umar Nurmagomedov, he beat, to me, clearly. He beat the power puncher in Sean twice now. Corey Sandhagen is not going to beat Merab. Merab is going to do whatever he wants with Corey Sandhagen. That's my official prediction for that fight. There is nothing at bantamweight that can stop Merab, and that is a scary thing because, to me, Merab is not an exciting fighter. He is not premium entertainment, and it sucks because I really want the UFC to be good and fun. There's a lot of good within the bad. There's a lot of bad to focus on within the UFC, but there is light within the darkness. But Merab is a martyr of darkness, and I am... His personality is fun. I will say that. I don't hate his personality. He seems like a cool dude. He seems like a really funny guy, to be honest. But his fight style is not what I want to see in a UFC champion. And in a dominant UFC champion who's probably never going to lose. That is not the method of victory that I prefer. Yes, he got a finish in this fight. He does not get finishes usually. I don't know if it makes it better or worse that he got a finish for me, at least. I mean, he got a finish, so it's like cool or whatever, but I feel that just discredits Sean a lot more, which I don't like because I really like Sean and I really like the way he fights. So overall, negative for me. Merab is a dominant force. He's going to be there for however long he wants, I think, at bantamweight. Someone's either got to get lucky or figure out, I don't know, they've got to put it on him. They've got to figure out his pressure. They've got to put a different pressure on him that keeps him on the back foot so you can predict when he's going to take down a little easier. But his cardio is something different. There's no way to stop it. It's impossible. And he's beaten everyone. There's nobody left, and it's so sad to see. But Merab's not that bad of a guy. So it's hard to hate on him that bad, but it's just not what I would have preferred. But overall, the card was pretty good. The prelims had some bangers. Who got the super sick finish in the prelims? Azamat had a really good finish. Gustafsson had a really pressure-heavy, fun fight in his debut. Joshua Van had a really good finish. What the fuck is his name? Juju Song? Some shit like that. Him. Zombie Jr., if you will. That's his nickname. He had a super slick knockout in the prelims, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on him going forward. He is super fun. You should definitely keep an eye on him. Watch him. He's going to be sick. He had a super good knockout in the prelims. If you don't watch the prelims, I'm just letting you know you should watch it. So, that's about it. The card was okay. I'm back making videos again. Like a 2-day hiatus or whatever the fuck. But there's been a lot happening in the world, so I'm going to make more videos this week than usual. So yeah, I will see you soon.